So my name is Chris Bigger. I'm the Superintendent of Schools here in Chambersburg School District. We're approaching our Schools of Distinction by 2030 goal under the One Trojan Community umbrella. This education exchange is designed to really talk to people in the district about our approach, what we're doing, how you can support, and also some of our struggles and barriers. Today I have Mary Alleman from Buchanan. She's also PTO at Buchanan, but also kind of the organizer of all the PTO, PTAs in the district. So Mary, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your history, and how the PAG or Parent Advisory Group came to be?
Sure. I'm Mary Alleman. I have two kids that go to Andrew Buchanan Elementary School. And so I got involved in the PTA at Andrew Buchanan whenever my first kid was in kindergarten. And then I learned about the Parent Advisory Group, which is a group of parents that meet with school district administration a couple times a year. So we try to have a representative from every school. So I started being the representative for Buchanan, and now I've become a coordinator of the Parent Advisory Group.
Yeah.
And from there, a lot of the things that we ended up talking about as a Parent Advisory Group were very elementary focused. So we have another group of PTA, PTO officers that meets a couple times a year, and we have an ongoing group chat, of course, to just because I don't think before that the PTAs did a lot of communication with each other.
Right.
Each PTA or PTO can run completely on their own at their own elementary school, but you might learn a lot from talking to the people at the next elementary school, because they might have some of the same struggles that you do, or they might have ideas about how to solve your problems.
Yeah, different fundraisers, different approaches.
Yeah.
So how many PTA, PTOs are there, and how many people roughly are in the group?
Okay.
Approximately.
So we have 13 elementary schools in the school district. And so 5 of those elementary schools have a PTA, Parent Teacher Association, which is a formal state and national group. So if your elementary school has a PTA, they are affiliated with the Pennsylvania State PTA.
Okay.
The other 8 elementary schools have PTOs, which are individual nonprofits. And so they're just their own individual group, and they don't have to answer to the state PTA.
Right.
And we have 4 secondary schools in the district, and one of those has a PTA. So CMS, the Career Magnet School, has a very active PTA that has been around for years and years.
Yeah, since the school started, yep.
Yep. So we have in our group chat and conversation, we have at least the president from every PTA or O involved in that, and sometimes like all the officers are invited. So some PTAs and Os are more engaged in that and some are less, but we do have some tangential contact with at least everybody.
So talk about then what PTA, PTOs do. What are the celebrations? What are the wonderful things that go on that most people wouldn't know?
Okay, so I said on the group chat that I was going to be interviewed by Mr. Bigger. He was going to ask me these questions, so I got feedback from all of them, and this is what they told me. So I think that one of the main things that PTAs and Os do is that they can create community and culture and fun events at schools so that kids and families have positive associations with schools, and then that makes them do better in school and more engaged and more wanting to be there.
Sure.
So there's I think there's 2 main things that PTAs do. One of them is to create community and make school fun and positive, and you can do like a PTA can run an event like a paint night that the school district isn't necessarily going to do. And then the other really important thing that PTAs do is that we just support the schools, so support teachers and school and staff. And there's a lot of ways that happens. Almost all of the PTAs in the district help teachers pay for school supplies for their classroom. Many of us have organizations to help have an organizational structure either to buy or collect donations to help things for students in need, like if kids don't have book bags or coats, or you know how you have to have extra clothes at school in case you spill paint on it or throw up or whatever. So there's like the PTAs often help to collect decent clothes in case kids need to change at school. All of the PTAs at the elementary level are in charge of the yearbook. So how that gets put together, sent to the yearbook committee, sent to the yearbook company, whether or not they give a yearbook to every student and every teacher, or whether they use it as a fundraiser, that's kind of individual. All PTAs help pay for some field trips where the cost isn't covered by the district.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
The PTA does that. All of the elementary PTAs coordinate with the Chambersburg Recreation Department to organize the basketball and soccer teams for elementary schools.
I didn't know that. Okay.
All of our elementary schools have soccer teams and basketball teams, and that is organized by the PTA.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Yep. Most of the PTAs pay for some assemblies, and all of our PTAs do some sort of teacher appreciation, whether that's all at Teacher Appreciation Week in May, or whether that's throughout the year, teacher appreciation type stuff.
Right. Wow, that's a long list.
Yeah.
And all that's fundraised, like
yes,
not part of the district at all.
Yeah, that is all basic support stuff, and that's not even like just the fun stuff like family events that PTAs do. The other thing I wanted to say specifically about PTAs is PTAs are kind of famous for fundraising. There's lots of sort of like ongoing cultural jokes about like bake sales or whatever.
Right.
And that is important, but I think that most of what the PTA contributes to the school is not actually money, it's time and organization.
Yeah.
So PTAs we do need money, but we also need people who are willing to go to meetings and talk to teachers and talk to principals and figure this stuff out.
Organized, yeah.
Yeah, and be organized.
And how do you get involved? Like, what's the process for a parent to get involved?
So I asked all the PTAs, like, how do you get involved? And the universal answer was just show up. Like, we just want families and parents and teachers and even students. Students are always welcome at PTA meetings. To just show up.
So the meeting schedule is online at each school that they can find out when they are?
So it's almost, it should be posted on Dojo. All of the PTAs also have a Facebook page. So just show up to a meeting or contact the PTA about how you can get involved. Yeah. So they just need people to like be there and participate in conversation and volunteer for events. Or even if you don't have the time and energy to be involved in the PTA, if you just come to the event. So like if the PTA has a pool party or a roller skating night or a paint night, like they want people to come to those. The whole purpose is that families will become and get involved in school.
Now, do you need to fill out the volunteer paperwork to come and help?
Okay, so that's another good thing that that PTAs can do. Like they can, like your PTAs are your involved families and teachers, so they can help you figure stuff out. Like if you can't figure out how to get the Dojo thing to work, somebody will be at a PTA meeting that can figure that out. And then to be an official volunteer with the school district is a really, really complicated process.
It is.
That not everybody even has you can't necessarily complete it if you have a criminal record or whatever. Right. So, but the PTA people can help to get you connected and help you kind of navigate through that paperwork. Yep. Although I understand that the engagement center is going to help people with that now.
Yes.
So we can just refer people to that. But at least someone at the PTA can commiserate with you about how hard the paperwork is.
It's not easy, and it's not our process. It's a state process.
Right. Yeah. So as far as being an official volunteer with the school district and registered, that would be if you were going to go on a field trip or be in a classroom. Yeah. But most of the stuff that a PTA does, handing out tickets at roller skating night, like that, we just need people to help with that.
Just come as a chaperone.
Yeah. They don't have to be district volunteers.
Now, another part of this is if you're the rep for the PTA, PTO to meet with the district officials, myself included in our team, which we have a meeting today.
Yes.
What has that been like? Like, what's the experience? What have you shared with the district that's helpful and feedback? What has the district been able to share with you that's been helpful? So how's that a two-way street? And talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So in the parent advisory group, we of course have representatives from middle school and high school too, so we're trying to talk about broader issues. And I think that one of the benefits of that group is that the school district administration, like yourself or the assistant superintendents, they have to talk directly to parents, and then we can talk about a lot of what we end up talking about is how the school district communicates with parents or how they don't communicate with parents. Right. So the assistant superintendent will say, well, we sent out an email about that. And then the parents will say, yeah, but that email only went to this group of parents and these group of parents needed it too. And so we've been able to give very specific and direct feedback in some of those situations that has made a difference.
And I've seen you provide great feedback on our strategic initiatives, whether it was the school calendar, changes in grade configuration of the building projects. You've been instrumental in, hey, did you think about, or this may not, or this would be better for us. And so it's nice to have a dedicated audience. While it's representative of the whole district, it's nice to have that back and forth. We can't always have that engagement with the public like we'd like.
Well, and then the parent advisory group, all of those members do report out at individual PTA meetings. So even whenever you started to have the conversation about the alternative calendar, you invited every member of the parent advisory group to sit on that committee.
Right.
And I think that maybe not all members of the public, of course, are aware of that, but there was a complete committee of like teachers, administrators, and parents that had conversations about that.
We studied that for like 6 months.
Yeah, so then then there was like representatives from each of the schools of parents that were invited to participate in those conversations. But I think that also benefits because then we can go back to our PTAs and be like, well, this is what's coming up.
This is the why.
This is how they're explaining things. This is the research that's been done.
Yeah.
So that even just having the parent advisory group, I think makes a nice two-way communication.
And you've shared some goals as the whole group wants to accomplish, and a lot of it was around transition grades and communication. So I think we've been very responsive to this would really help parents if, transitioning from 5th to 6th grade or into kindergarten or into 9th grade. And it's really influenced our ability to improve in those within constraints that we all have with time and money and resources. But that's been invaluable to us too, to hear what's needed. Certainly times have changed from when maybe you went to school or I went to school. So as the times change, we need to respond differently.
Yes.
So it's been a good partnership overall.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, though, of course, in the parent advisory group, you're talking to the parents and families who are already engaged.
Yeah.
So then we only get to communicate back with PTA, people who come to PTA meetings or who at least receive PTA emails. So we're still representative of a narrow set of people in the school district. But I think that we still can just do the best that we can to overcome that and also just be aware that we are not actually representing everybody.
Yeah, be cognizant of that.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to thank you for coming in, just sharing how to get involved, what the PTA, PTO does, your work with the school district and the group in general. It's been invaluable to us just to hear more feedback about topics. So thank you for what you do, and thanks for all the time, and I hope you keep doing it even when your kids leave Buchanan. Maybe you could stick around and just keep organizing, or you're going to follow your kids up through the middle school and high school.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see?
And and I think that the parent advisory group is also very appreciative of having administrators who are willing to meet with us and talk to us. So we are grateful for that.
Yeah, it's very valuable. Well, thanks for coming today, and thanks for sharing what goes on.
Thank you.